This week's Sedra is Sedra Vayishlach. The crime of rape is as old as humanity itself, a dastardly crime. Rape deserves the harshest of punishments. People have reacted to rape throughout the ages in different ways, with some societies allowing it and others absolutely forbidding it. The most heinous of responses in our time is blaming the rape victim. It's surprising to find our rabbis blame Dinah for her own rape in this week's parsha, or so it seems. Our Torah begins the episode of Dinah's rape by talking about Dinah's extracurricular social activities. Dinah, the daughter whom Leah had born to Yaakov, went out to visit the daughters of the land. Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Chivite, chief of the country, saw her and took her and raped her. In his commentary on this pasuk, Rashi took note that Dinah was called the daughter of Leah and not the daughter of Yaakov. Rashi explained, because she went out, she is called Leah's daughter, since she too was fond of going out. As God said, Leah went out to meet him. With an allusion to Dinah, they formulated the proverb, like mother, like daughter. The Radak echoed Rashi's comments and went into more detail. Dinah went forth from her mother's tent, her father also not being at home, and she came into the town to get acquainted with the other girls in the town. The Torah underscored that she was the daughter of Leah, a fact we are all familiar with, to remind us, like mother, like daughter. Her mother had been described, and Leah went forth to meet her husband, suggesting that she took an initiative which was not common for her. It's disappointing to read Rashi and Radak criticizing Dinah for going out to meet the daughters of the land she had recently joined. Rambam wrote similarly about how a woman shouldn't regularly leave her home. This was what he wrote. It is improper for a woman to always leave home, this time to go out and another time to go out on the street. Indeed, a husband should prevent a wife from doing this and not allow her to go out more than once or twice a month, as is necessary. For there is nothing more attractive for a woman than to sit in the corner of her home, as it says in Tehillim, all the glory of a king's daughter is within. The Rambam's writings seem backwards, but also at odds with the woman's potential to contribute to society and the community at large. In fact, the Ran, another Rishon, wrote that in Bavel, the women used to work so their husbands could learn Torah. Rav Moshe Sternbach is just one of many who explain the Rambam's opinion as referring to an ancient practice, where in olden times they acted with extreme modesty in such matters. How are Rashi and the Radak's criticism of Dinah and her mother Leah for going out of the home, and the Rambam's writing that women should stay at home, to be understood in light of the long Jewish practice of women leaving the home and leading the Jewish people? Miriam, Moshe Rabbeinu's sister, was a leader who led the Jewish people. Devorah was a judge who led the entire nation. And Esther saved the Jewish people. And these are just some of the many examples of women who went out and led the Jewish people. Rashi, Radak, and the Rambam were well aware of the contributions of Jewish women that they have made throughout the ages and the potential contributions that women can make to improve Jewish communal life for ages. It's impossible to think that they are archaic thinkers who addressed old school times. There's nothing inherently wrong with men or women going out. The question is why they're going out. If a person goes out to dangerous areas and puts themselves at risk, they're acting recklessly and are responsible for their actions and the consequences. A person who goes out in a responsible manner has nothing to fear and is doing nothing wrong. Dinah wasn't blamed for her own rape because she went out and should have stayed at home. That's an irrational position, not becoming of the Torah's wisdom. Dinah was criticized for putting herself in danger. Jewish women are encouraged to partake of the world just as much as men, but in a responsible manner that is consistent with the Torah's values. It's an important distinction that we learn in this week's Torah portion, and one that shouldn't be misunderstood. Shabbat Shalom.